Thank you for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. I want to get right to what we're seeing with Hurricane Beryl. It is rapidly intensifying. That's a worst case scenario. That's just what it is on this channel. I just want to give you the facts about what a storm's doing and what we can expect next. You can see it here. It is what I've been talking about over the last couple of months are those hot pockets in the water just feeding these systems, and that's what we're going to see throughout the season, and we are seeing it now. Winds right now 160 kilometers an hour, 100 miles per hour. That's what we have now. It is going to continue to strengthen. There's really no reason for it not to strengthen that I could find out there at this point. So it is going to roll in as a very dangerous hurricane. So this is a worst case scenario unfolding for St. Vincent the Grenadines over toward Barbados, near St. Lucia, watching over toward Grenada. So this is very important. Now, as far as where you need to be, when you need to be. This here is where I kind of want you in place. Of course, your government officials are on top of this. You have your own standards for what you're doing. This is what I'm seeing based on the weather, and safety is first, and that's why I do this channel. So Barbados at sunset, you want to be in place. That is today. St. Vincent the Grenadines, sunset. St. Lucia, sunset. Grenada, sunset. Tobago, sunset. You want to be where you need to be for this hurricane by sunset this evening. We have a little more time in Martinique and Dominica, more in the way of tropical storm conditions tomorrow morning by 7 o'clock. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, you need to be where you need to be for this hurricane. Now, if you're riding this out alone, we're thinking of you. Please check friends and neighbors. And if you are riding this out alone, put your comments and we'll join in. And you're not doing it alone on this channel. But again, please check on each other in situations like this. And we'll get through it. This will pass by. There'll be some cleanup on the back end, but we'll get through it. But again, safety first with this. You could see it, these brighter colors telling me that the cloud tops are much taller, which means a stronger system. Here's Barbados, get back towards St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago. This is going to trek right in here, and it will be a direct hit for some of our islands as a major, powerful, most likely Category 4 hurricane that will be moving in. Finish those preparations today. Here's the broader picture, and you can see the hurricane here that is going to be working in, and we have another disturbance behind it, and yes, that could form as well as a tropical storm. I'm going to show you that. I want to show you this as it rides through the Caribbean, potentially into the Gulf of Mexico, but this is the immediate concern where we need to finish those preparations. Here's the track on this. So here's Jamaica, here's Belize, for example, here's Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. This will be south of Puerto Rico. It'll be south of Puerto Rico, not to say we can't get some rain, but south of Puerto Rico on Tuesday. But we have the hurricane warnings up, tropical storm warnings up. I'm going to break it down island by island because there's a lot of information. But this M on the map, this will move through as a major, powerful hurricane. I want to break down the wind. So here's what's going on. Most likely track. I wish this would change. The forecast that we've been talking about has been really locked in as far as the track is concerned. I've upped some of those winds. Please check on your friends and neighbors. The preps have to be done as soon as we can. We have different means as far as trying to get food, trying to get water, a lot of different means, and it makes it difficult, and that's why I stress relying on each other if you can. It's really a good time for where we could really come together, but tree and structure damage is going to be likely. Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Grenada, right on the edge of Martinique, tropical storm, even strong tropical storm conditions in Tobago. Trinidad will get some gusty winds at times, the core just to the north. The core winds will be around 210 kilometers an hour or 130 miles per hour. That means the gusts are going to be higher. The gusts could be 150, 160 miles per hour with those wind gusts. Now, where does it go next also down the road? I know you may be thinking, hey, this is coming into some spots. It's been on track. Well, next, I want to point this out too. Now, in Haiti and the DR, we're in monitor mode. We're just kind of keeping an eye on this. The core should stay to the south down the road, but it could bring in some rain. I'll fine tune the flooding as we go forward the next couple days. But my friends in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, we're now in action mode for the potential of a hurricane. What does that mean? We need to start making the preps. Jamaica, we start making the preparations. We could have a hurricane moving in on Wednesday. Cayman Islands, the potential of hurricane winds. We'll see how the track goes. It may stay a little to the south. It may come right in. But action mode now, Cayman Islands and Jamaica. So thank you for just sharing this information and getting the word out. And this to me is a hard map to put together because we're dealing with a major hurricane now. There is a second system back behind it. We're going to go storm by storm as we go throughout the season, but I definitely did not. I don't think anyone could foresee what was going to happen this late in June and early July. There is another system that's going to come in. Some of the models make it a hurricane, others do not. I'll show you that with the European model in a second. The track will most likely be a little bit different, maybe a little bit more to the north. This could come in on Wednesday in some of the same areas that are about to deal with Beryl. But let's focus on Beryl because that is the life-threatening situation right now. So you see the track, it is so very locked in. All the computer models bring the core of this just south of Barbados, north of Tobago, and then right into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These are big systems though. That's just the core. This one's it's starting to get bigger since it's rapidly intensifying. Then very close to Jamaica, as I mentioned on Wednesday. I'm hoping the core is just to the south and then very close to the Cayman Islands. That's why we're taking those hurricane preparations now to be safe. And then yes, down the road, watching Honduras, Belize, and the Yucatan. This is way down the road, we'll see. And then there should be some sort of curve either toward, we'll see Mexico, potentially up toward the Texas area as we get well down the road. And I'll show you that in a second. Now, here are the models that I just showed you. All of them have this continuing to intensify, and almost all of them have this as a Category 3, potentially Category 4. This is out on time. This is a day, 2 days. I know this map is crazy, but they're all locked in with strengthening now. I mentioned the winds now are so very strong, and all of them over the next 24 to 36 hours show some strengthening. Down the road, there could be some wind shear. We're really hoping that for Jamaica, for example. Hopefully some of the winds up above our heads can knock off some of the thunderstorm tops. So again, I mentioned the areas in place at sunset. I care about safety first. We'll get through the storm, but safety first. Here's a look at tomorrow morning. Horrible weather moving into Barbados. Here's Tobago. The brighter colors showing the core of this system that's going to be moving in, and that's why a lot of us need to be in place later today. Finish those preps ASAP. I can't stress that enough. As we work our way through the day tomorrow, the core of this rolls right through as a major hurricane with a direct hit into St. Vincent in the Grenadines. Please know we are thinking about you. All of us will be joining in the comment section. St. Lucia, we're on the edge of the core of this. Same thing in Grenada. These wobble. Some of us, once this is done, will say, hey, that wasn't quite as bad as I thought. Others will say, that was a little bit worse than I thought, because they do wobble. The core of this will eventually move by Tuesday morning away. But I mentioned as it comes through St. Vincent and the Grenadines, could be just a little bit to the north. That would bring a very bad or even worse weather to St. Lucia, or it could jog a little bit to the south. That could bring even worse weather to Grenada. But it's in this sector here we are about to take a direct hit from a major hurricane. It's coming our way, and we're making those preps. Now, here's the wind tracker. This is later today, so we're going to be in place by sunset. St. Lucia, for example, Barbados, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Grenada, over toward Tobago. Then by tomorrow morning, here's the core of it. See some of the winds right here. Some of these winds are going to end up off of my chart. There's a little green getting in there. Those are winds of 125 miles per hour or 200 kilometers an hour. Moving into Barbados, there is going to be structure damage to roofs. Of course, we have a lot of different types of structures across our islands. Even some of the strongest structures can take on damage with this, will take on damage with this. This will move right into St. Vincent the Grenadines. There's that green shading showing up. Over 200 kilometers an hour, moving right through St. Vincent the Grenadines, St. Lucia tomorrow, and then the southern core of this will be moving right through Grenada, Trinidad, and Tobago. We'll have some gusty winds, but more so in Tobago with the tropical storm conditions early tomorrow. Then later in the day tomorrow, the core of this will eventually work away. Strong winds in Martinique. Of course, there's going to be a surge with this. We need to be away from the coast. There's going to be a lot of flooding. You get a rise with a system like this. There's going to be a rise in the level of the water, and then that's going to be moving in. So please listen to your local officials. This is something many of us have actually not seen, especially this early in the season with a direct hit from a storm like this. And then this will start to work away as we get into later in the day tomorrow. Now, let me flip over into the European model to show you the setup in more of a long-term situation. So here's Jamaica right here. Here's Trinidad and Tobago. Here's Barbados. Here's Beryl. Now, what's going on here is there is a front up here. I'm going to tie that in a second. High pressure's in control right now. That acts like a blocker, and that's going to move this in. So this will work in, as I was just showing you, by later tonight, tomorrow morning, and then working in into the day tomorrow. Also watching this area in the Bay of Campeche, bringing some flooding rain to Mexico. Now you see here that'll move through tomorrow. This is by later in the day tomorrow. Hurricane conditions will be moving in and then starting to slide off toward the west. Now, here's this front up here. This front up here, these fronts can kind of pull these things a little bit more to the north. But what's going to happen with this is this front just kind of quickly moves out. So there's a little tug to the north, but then high pressure is going to build in again above it. So here's this front. You can see it right here. Here's our system. Here's Puerto Rico. This, by the way, is on Tuesday, south of Puerto Rico, and then working its way near Haiti and the DR. The core should be south of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. But I'm going to watch out for any changes. High pressure builds in behind the front. And then you see here, this is by Wednesday, the potential of a hurricane. Now in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, we're taking the hurricane preps. I'm hoping it stays to the south. The core of it, the middle of it, stays to the south. But it's going to be way too close, and it could give us a direct hit in Jamaica and in the Cayman Islands. There's high pressure keeping everything kind of moving west-northwest. The European model showing that second system, but not as strong. The American model, I want to show you, it does make it strong. I'm not quite sure yet on that second system. So many variables when you get back-to-back systems. And then you see here, this is by Thursday. We'll get this hurricane that will be working its way closer to the Yucatan of Mexico and Belize. Watching my friends in some of the islands here, I'll keep an eye on that, and Honduras, and then moving in somewhere here near the Yucatan and Belize, hopefully just to the north of Belize. Not that we're wishing it on the Yucatan of Mexico. I'm hoping it's to the north of there as well, trying to keep this off of all land, period. But you can see here, very close to Belize and the Yucatan of Mexico, kind of moving in as we work our way toward Friday. Then it may get tugged to the north, so Louisiana, Texas, or it could swing back toward Mexico. It just depends on what's going on up here. This is pretty far down the road, so just kind of giving you the early heads up that this may start to lift to the north at the tail end of this scenario. So let me show you that. Watching this heavy weather right here, and then you can see here is the very dangerous, powerful hurricane, Beryl, that is going to be moving in. So this is later today, and you can see here St. Lucia. You get back towards St. Vincent the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago. That's going to start to work in. Elsewhere, some scattered thunderstorms. But let's go out in time here, and then I want to go island by island with you and get into some of the wave heights. This action moves in. I was fine-tuning this and zooming down a second ago. This is tomorrow morning with a very, very dangerous hurricane taking that direct hit right near St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent, the Grenadines, and Grenada. And then it starts to work its way into the Eastern Caribbean by tomorrow evening and starts to pull in. So this is our Monday evening now at 7 p.m. Now, as we work our way into Tuesday, we're going to be watching a lot. We're going to see what this will do and watching the next system back behind it. This is Tuesday, well to the south, relatively speaking, for Puerto Rico. Always watching it for any changes, but you can see here some of the rain may kind of spill over to Puerto Rico, Haiti and the DR on a Tuesday, trying to keep the core off of land. And then you see by the time we get into Wednesday, that's when we could have a hurricane as a direct hit into Jamaica, or the core of the hurricane would stay just to the south, but that's why we need to start making those preps. And then this here is showing another tropical storm trying to move into some of the same locations on Wednesday. So as you make those preps, you're going to kind of have to hang tight for several days because we could see that second system moving in. The European model does not have this as a tropical storm, but the American model does. And then you see here Wednesday into Thursday, either tropical storm conditions or hurricane conditions for the Cayman Islands, and then eventually this area will move toward the Yucatan of Mexico, maybe just north of Belize. But at this point, as I was mentioning, it may shoot a little bit more to the north. There's going to be some fronts up there, or it could slide back into Mexico, and then seeing whatever is left of this system trying to also get tugged to the north. So everything eventually by midweek and then late week starts to nudge to the north. So that's what I'm seeing as of now. Now, this is the problem. I've been talking about this for months. It's not just the warm water temperatures, it's the heat content. It's warm water all the way down. So as Beryl has been moving across, look at this hot pocket red in here. It draws up more. Usually when you have a storm go across, it feeds off the warm water and then some cooler water churns up. And cooler water, it's not really fuel for these things. But in this scenario, this is the heat content. There's even warm water down below. So that just continues to feed this, and that's why we're seeing that rapid intensification. Now, this is down the road on Wednesday. This is a big variable over toward Jamaica. Here's the wind shear. Wind shear is good. It could rip apart a system, but it looks like it's a little bit more to the north, and that's why it looks like this will stay as a hurricane moving into or very close to Jamaica later this week. Let's hope it is just to the south. The core of the rain, this could be up here, this could be a little bit more here, but these rain totals are off the chart. So I really want to get to that as we break it down ahead as we work our way into our island by island outlook. But you see the swath of this very, very intense, heavy tropical rain that will be sliding through with this system. So here's the island by island breakdown. We are making the preps. We are getting them done as soon as possible. And thank you for spreading this information. Now, as we work our way into tomorrow, in Dominica, the worst weather would be just to the south, but we are going to have winds around 80 kilometers an hour or 50 miles per hour, and we're going to have some periods of heavier rain moving in. We have tropical storm conditions moving into Dominica, so we're making those preparations for that. Martinique, the winds are going to be even higher, getting closer to hurricane status. We could have hurricane wind gust in Martinique, winds of 95 kilometers an hour or 60 miles per hour, very heavy rain. We're prepping to be without power. Some of the power grid shut down. Some of us don't have power to begin with, but if you do, we are going to lose power in this scenario. St. Lucia, winds will be around 150 kilometers an hour or 95 miles per hour. If it intensifies at a greater rate, the winds can be higher in St. Lucia. If it wobbles to the north, and these wobble, bigger storms kind of wobble, they don't take a straight line, and I watch those wobbles, the winds could be higher. So make those preps in St. Lucia. Power loss, structure damage, and mudslides. Finish those preparations. Please, please check on friends and neighbors. Barbados, as we work our way into tonight, into early tomorrow, the worst weather moving in. Winds of 200 kilometers an hour. They may be higher. If this wobbles to the north, they'll be higher. 125 miles per hour. Very heavy rain at times. We are going to have some structure damage. I've been talking with a lot of folks in Barbados. I've been seeing us a lot of boarding up yesterday. We've been making the preps. So again, continue with that early today. Get that done as soon as possible, and then you want to be where you need to be by sunset, if not sooner, and we will get through this together. Same thing to the Grenadines. The winds are going to be even higher. We are going to take a direct hit on this. Even if it wobbles, it looks like we're taking a direct hit, and same thing to the Grenadines. This is a major hurricane, 210 kilometers an hour, 130 miles per hour. The gust will be even higher. There will be structure damage. There will be power loss. This is a massive system that is headed in. No really other way to put it at this point. Grenada, winds 180 kilometers an hour, 110 miles per hour. This is going to give us some structure damage in some spots. The wobbles will be important in St. Lucia and Grenada, for example, as I was showing you earlier. If it wobbles to the north, we could have worse weather in St. Lucia. Wobbles to the south, it could be worse than this in Grenada. So we're making the preps, and then we will hope for the best. Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Trinidad itself, we're going to have some gusty winds. We're going to have some flooding. We had some gusty winds and flooding yesterday in some spots, right? Now, Tobago, though, that's where the worst weather will be, with winds of about 95 kilometers an hour or 60 miles per hour. The core will be staying to the north. I'll be watching the rain and that flood potential very carefully. Now, look how it coincides with these the wave heights. Here's meters. And then we get back through here. This is what we're seeing with feet. We're going to see these massive swells away from the coast. We're going to see a massive storm surge where this comes in. Storm surge is just basically a wall of water that comes in. Everything lifts and then works its way in. Well, watch us safe. We're going to have to seek higher ground in many spots. You see here these massive swells in high, just incredibly dangerous seas. There's no really other way to put this. We're almost running off the chart with this. And then you see that second system. This here is by Wednesday. So this is Wednesday. This here is by Thursday. And you can see as this system moves in, we have another system moving in as well with these back-to-back systems. I'm not sure of the strength of that second one yet. And then this itself, once we get deeper into the week, will bring those higher seas back toward the Gulf of Mexico, because this system again may lift up toward the north. So yes, this is the worst case scenario for us, for many of us at this point. We are fortunate to have this weather community, though, in the sense that we've been trying to get the word out together about this, and generally the track itself has stayed on track, but the problem now is that rapid intensification. So Jamaica, all eyes are going to be kind of on what's going on down the road. Isolated showers and storms the next couple of days. Same thing in the Cayman Islands, of course, Trinidad and Tobago. Tropical storm conditions tomorrow. Barbados, we are thinking of you. We're going to be with you. Just thinking of you in the comments section. St. Lucia, we're thinking of you with a hurricane moving in tomorrow. The hurricane moves into Grenada for us tomorrow. We need to be where we need to be by this evening. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we're taking a direct hit from a major hurricane, and this is a record-setting hurricane. We've never had a hurricane form this early, at least as far as records are concerned, this early, this far east in a season. Martinique, tropical storm conditions. We'll have those tropical storm conditions tomorrow in Dominica. Now, some of this rain tries to swing to the north. It's not the most powerful, but watching Guadeloupe even, we get a bump. Antigua and Barbuda, we'll see a bump in the rain chance. Some of the kind of outer bands will be filtering in, so we're going to see the rain chance higher tomorrow. St. Vincent or rather over towards St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla and St. Bart's, the rain chance will be higher with some of those showers, just kind of the flow around this. So rain chance tomorrow and Tuesday starting to make the climb. Puerto Rico, Tuesday, we could see some of the rain trying to work in. Same thing, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. See the rain chance 40 to 50% the next couple days in the Bahamas. Turks and Caicos, about a 20 to 30% chance. We'll see, all eyes will be on this system on Tuesday for the potential of flooding as we get toward the Dominican Republic. The core should be just to the south. That's the middle part of it. Same thing in Haiti, but we'll see how much rain is going to try to swing in. We'll be fine-tuning that going forward. Belize, we'll see periods of rain at times the next few days, but all eyes on Beryl to see how close it gets. Aruba, there is a bump in the rain chance. Our ABC Islands, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, rain chance should bump up some. Yes, this will mainly stay to the north, but we'll see the rain chance bumping up. Guyana, Suriname, very high seas. You're already seeing that. Watching out for some areas of flooding with some rain and storms around, but this system staying just to the north. Cuba, rain chance 40 to 50%. And as we get toward Costa Rica and Panama, we did have some flooding over the last few days. So watching that. Nicaragua, scattered rain and storms. Honduras, we'll keep an eye on Beryl as it tries to get closer later in the week. Guatemala and El Salvador, some of those scattered storms. Mexico City, we're going to see a lot more moisture building in, more in the way of flooding in Mexico. I touched upon that system over toward the Bay of Campeche. Yucatan, we are watching Beryl to see what shakes out as we get toward later this week. Colombia, rain chance about 40 to 50% early in the week. Northern Venezuela, about a 40% chance. And in Bermuda on Tuesday, that rain chance will be getting higher. So hurricane impacts are moving in. It's not a great scenario. It is what it is. But the one good thing is we do have time with these things. They're not like a tornado or something that may just pop up. We've been watching this, and we have today together to finish those preparations. If you know someone who lives alone, please check on them. Storms are scary enough when you're with people, yet alone. So it'd be great to try to do this together. Watching down the road, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, we're taking the hurricane preps because, hey, we want to be safe. Let's take those hurricane preps, and then we'll fine-tune that forecast. That second system trying to move in midweek into the Eastern Caribbean, but we'll go storm by storm throughout the season. It's already a long season and it just begun, but we'll go storm by storm and fine-tune where these things are going and not going, and we'll try to help each other in the process. So thank you for sharing this information. I'll be watching things throughout the day. Please be safe. I'll be getting to those comments as we build this weather community together. We are thinking of you if you're taking a direct hit from them, from this system. Be safe, and I'll see you soon.